Hi everyone, Melissa Ullman, the Creative Chatterbox, as well as content contributor for Creative Memories Home Office, a CLS or Creative Life Scrapbooking member, as well as a Creative Memories advisor. So if you see any tools or any of the products here that I am using that tickle your fancy, I would be happy to get them ordered for you if you do not already have an existing advisor. So let's go ahead and get started. Today we are going to create a jumbo circle ray of sunshine. If you are the visual type and you like to have a printout and step-by-step instructions, this is available on my website, www.thecreativechatterbox.com. All right, so this is the layout we are going to create today. I have created this one using the Vivid Melodies, and I have created this one using the new Sweet Summer collection. So a couple different ways you can do it. You can use a variety of papers. You can use papers that are identical to each other on the different rays, or you can use all one piece of paper for the rays. So what you're going to need is you are going to need your mat, your jumbo circle, you're going to need your red blade, your tape runners, of course you're working with me, so you're going to need foam squares, a ruler, pencil, and eraser, and then of course you're going to need some great papers to use. So I am going to use, excuse me, I am going to use the red Totally Tonals. This is a great layout for you to create if you have a lot of miscellaneous pieces, right? So you can cut those small little rays out from them. For the base, I am going to use a black cardstock. So I'm going to set everything aside here for the moment, and we're going to go ahead and get started. So go ahead and leave your mat out and then center your cardstock on your mat. Then you're going to take your ruler and you are going to place it so it's along the 6-inch mark on both sides, and you are going to draw a pencil line. Okay, and then from there you're going to draw a vertical line at the 6-inch mark. So we'll draw that line. And then we're going to take our ruler and we're going to go from the center of the cardstock out to each corner. So we will go ahead and do that. Again, on all 4 corners. This is going to be the guide for us for our rays, our sunshine rays. If you use a longer ruler, you can probably go from corner to corner, but I just have a 12-inch ruler, so we'll just go from the outside in. All right, so we have that in place. So now we're going to set that aside, and we are going to use our miscellaneous pieces here of red that we have, and you're going to want to like both sides of them, and we are going to cut a total of 8 pieces that are 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. So I'm going to cut 2 each of 4 different pieces. Again, you could, if you wanted to, cut it all out of the same paper, but I want to give a little bit of variation here. So 2 1/4. I'm going to go the other direction so then I can cut 2 1/4. quarter by 4 1/4, and again 4 1/4. So I'm just kind of going through my stash here to see what I have. I do like this one. So 2 1/4 by 4 1/4. I love finding ways to use up those miscellaneous pieces that we have left over from a collection. Just makes it, let's see here. Yeah, let's go ahead and use this one. I'm going to use 2 1/4 by 4 1/4 and 4 1/4. All right, so we have our 8 pieces here. So now what we're going to do is we are going to take our ruler and our pencil, and on each piece we are going to measure 1.5 inches from the upper left hand corner. So you're going to place that piece vertically in front of you, and then we're going to take the ruler, placing it the 0 on your upper left hand corner. You're going to mark at 1.5. Then you're going to rotate this piece of paper 180 degrees, and we're going to do the same thing. So marking it at 1.5. And you're going to do that with all 8 of these pieces of paper. So once you have all 8 of your pieces of paper marked with your pencil, then we're going to pull our trimmer back out, and we are going to cut each one so that the top pencil line is on the track as well as the bottom pencil line. So you will see I've got this marking up here and this marking down here, and they are all along the dotted cutting line there. So we'll cut like so. Then what's going to happen is you're going to have your pieces like this. You're going to take the piece on the right, flip it over, and align it like so. So we're going to set those aside just like we have flipped them over. So we'll go ahead and make those cuts on all of our pieces. So this is why you want to make sure that you are using a piece of paper that you like both sides of, because you are definitely going to be seeing both sides. All right, so now we're going to pull our mat back in with our cardstock and our lines on them. We are going to decide which of these we want top and bottom, side by side, opposite of each other. So let's go ahead and start with this one here. So these are going to go along the straight pencil line. So it's going to be easiest if we use our repositionable adhesive, and we're going to place it along this pencil line about 1/8 of an inch from that outside edge. So you see there's about 1/8 of an inch there on its side. So then we'll just place those next to each other. All right, so now we're going to use the same ones on the opposite side. So the same set, paper set, because we cut 2 of each. Now, if you cut a variety of 8 different papers, like I did with the Vivid Melodies, then I would, it doesn't really matter because you can mix them up. You could also, again, as I was saying with this, you could very much decide that you want to use the same piece of paper for all of your rays, which you can do that as well. So now on the corners, what you are going to do is you're going to make sure that the point is, so there's about 1/8 of an inch here around the outside. Could maybe push that up a little bit. So by the points out here, about 1/8 of an inch. And then we'll go ahead and do the same in the opposite corner. It's really nice to be able to use the repositionable adhesive, because if we place them in a place that we're not sure we want them, if we need to move them around like I'm doing right now, we can do that. And I just realized we didn't get those top ones adhered, but we can go back and do that. All right, so we just have our 2 sets left, and those will go on these opposite two corners here. So this one will go like so, and then like so up here. And of course, I find myself at the end of my tape runner. So we're just gonna actually use the regular adhesive here, being we know where it is going, until I am able to refill that. So it is grad season, which means that we could definitely be using like this layout for a graduation, using school colors as your rays, and using the mats for photos. All right, I'm just gonna pull over my little tray of goodness here. I'm gonna take my white polymer eraser now, and I'm gonna erase the lines on the outside of the circle. I don't need to do the ones on the inside because those are going to get covered up by our next step. So we'll just take and erase those. If you have any markings, again, you don't need to do it on the inside, but on the outside, if you have any pencil markings, this would be a time to do it. I do like using the white polymer eraser because it does not take the ink out of the paper, and smear it, if you will. All right, so this is what they're white polymer Pentel erasers. All right, so I'm going to set this aside. Now I am actually going to find a piece of paper that I like that is kind of muted, but it is let's use this one here. It's kind of a muted piece, but it's going to look great. Or we could use white and matte with the red. Let's actually do that. So your piece is going to want to be big enough that you can place your jumbo circle on it, and we are going to cut from the inside with the red blade. Okay, so we're going to take, again, inside red blade. All right, you can set the rest aside. So we will take this and place that on the inside here. And so we're gonna center it. The nice thing about this is that you can eye it if you want, but I like to be more precise. So I can tell you that it's roughly 1.5 inches from the edge of the circle out to the edge of the ray of sunshine. And we are a little bit to the right, but we're good on the top and the bottom. All right, so now let's go ahead and take this previous piece that I thought maybe we would use for the circle, and let's cut our mats from it. So we are going to take and cut 3 mats that are 4 by 4. So you're just gonna take a strip, cut it in at 4 inches, and then making 2 cuts as you rotate it. Now, an option for you, if you wanted to, would be to double mat these photo mats. And I really like the way that they look double matted. Again, you can kind of just work it around. I'm going to overlap 2 and then kind of leave 2. It's totally up to you, or we can kind of overlap that a little bit more or tuck this one under that one. So you decide how you want to arrange your mats. But once you get them where you want them, go ahead and adhere them. I'm going to overlap those a little bit there. Just tuck that one down in the corner there and give it some space around the outside. Now, I really do like the look of it being double matted, and so I am going to cut 3 pieces from white cardstock. And the reason I'm using white is because this is going to make the photos that you put on them really pop out. Anytime you have white and then you're putting a colored photo on it, it really gives. So we're going to cut these 3 pieces from white cardstock to measure 3 3/4 by 3 3/4. And then we're just going to take and adhere these to the tops of these previous mats. So then when you cut your photos are going to measure 3 1/2 by 3 1/2. We'll give it a nice 1/4 inch. So what I like about the Totally Tonal collections and colors is that it has a wide variety of words, word stickers. So let's pull out our foam squares. And I'm going to just show you. So every color in the Totally Tonal has a set of word and some general shaped stickers. So we'll pull out the red ones and we can then decide which of these we want to use and where. So like I said, lots of different word options that we can use. Perfect and amazing. I'm just looking at what we might be able to use. Enjoying the good life, every moment counts. I'm just thinking, like, let's use this one kind of as a tuck it behind. So we want to make our visual triangle here. Then we have this nice one that says cheers. That feels like a graduation sentiment. So we'll place that there. And then let's continue on to our other pieces here. So I'm thinking that today is the day. Perfect and amazing. I kind of like that one there. Let's put that one here. We can always go back and add more if we want to. So for this, I'm gonna kind of place it so it aligns with this line. And then again, I can add some of these other pieces or other words. Perfect and amazing. Remember this moment, of course, any graduation moment we want to remember. So I like to layer my elements. So I popped this one on foam squares. So this one I am going to place flat, but then I feel like it needs a little bit of some sort of, you know, splash of something here. There we go. So we have our 3 elements there. We have 2 up here. So let's go ahead and add 1 more. So we're going to use this piece as kind of the piece that is going to pull it all together. So we have 1 more and we can use that on the 3rd side over here. But I am thinking that this might be a great place that we can tuck this sticker kind of partially under there. And then we'll find another word. We're going to celebrate. We're going to pop this one up on foam squares. So because there's going to be a photo here, I am actually not going to take off the backing of the one side of foam squares. So that will allow us to just tuck our photo under there and then peel this back and place it down. But let's go back to using this third piece here, third part of our element. So you see our triangle covers all of our visual triangle, all of the photo elements. It's pulling it in the triangle across all of those photos. So you could also, if you had a lighter piece of background, you can use that for your journaling. You could journal on some of the rays. You could journal on the outside edge of your circle, or you could cut some strips of cardstock, white cardstock perhaps, to add some journaling as well. Or you could place two photos and use your third one as a journaling box. So that concludes our layout today. So again, this one is using the Totally Tonal Reds, and then I did this one using the Sweet Summer, and this one using the Vivid Melodies. Thank you guys for joining me. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment on this video. All right, love and blessings until we create again. Thank you.